My e-stop is good. I don't have any faults. I'm now in run enabled mode, and then I press both buttons, and there you go, my fan's running, as you can hear, right? So now if I hit the e-stop, it kills it for me, right? Then now, even if I reset the e-stop straight away, and then I'm still in run enabled mode, as you can see, I won't run because I've hit the e-stop, so there's been a fault for something. I don't want someone to just come reset the e-stop and just start working again. I want them to go back to the screen, figure out what the fault was, have a look at it, and then clear that fault. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So in the last video we had this nice fan set up where we just had, you know, some buttons and we played about a bit. One push button, press it, turns on the fan, etc. Yeah, and you can see that over there. So in this video, like I said, well, I mentioned at the end of my last video, I didn't know what I was going to be purchasing next. This is a £25 like button module, which you could imagine being like mounted. I mean, look at the size of it compared to the PLC. So look at that compared to I cut myself with a saw. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, this is my nice button, which I think this is amazing. So you got stop button, I assume a red button, which I don't know if that lights up. I'm intrigued to see if that lights up. Green again, which again I don't know if that lights up. And then this switch, look at that, goes that way and that way, which would be good for like reverse and forward motion. And then I got this lovely e-stop, which is like, oh, I've turned it the wrong way. Dear me. Look at that. So that this like little display thing is rotated. Anyway, so what did you do? That way? Yeah. So e-stop, hit the e-stop, and then now you can't press it, and then so this has got 4/5 buttons, considering it goes both ways. And shout out to my mentor at work as well, because he actually, I showed him a picture of this today, and he went, I just thought that maybe this would be this way, and then it would rotate 90 degrees, or yeah, 90 degrees that way. And he was like, no, it might be a switch where it goes back and forwards, which it is. So I believe I've got one input there, which might require 2 wires, and then I've got 1 input, 2, 3, and then 1 and 1. That might only be 2. I don't know. I actually have no idea how this works. I have no idea what's inside. I have no idea how, you know, I've got this like thing here which I tighten, and you can see like some teeth come out there. You see that to tighten it, to make it so that, you know, and I can untighten it. So I'm guessing I'm gonna have to, what my mentor at work said, which I agree with and I wish I did, was to get a multi-core cable in there with like 11 cores or whatever, and then wire it all up inside. I don't have a multi-core cable, so I'm going to end up using basically a bunch of these. So it's going to look ugly, and I'm going to need to get some multi-core cable eventually, but for now we'll work with what we got. I suppose the first thing to do, 2 things. Let's open it, and then let's also jump online to see if there's any sort of manual on how to wire this. But first, I believe I've just got 4 screws here, and I don't think I have any screws there. So yeah, let's open it. So this costs £25, so I'm hoping it's good quality. They seem alright, to be honest, but let's see what's inside. So screws are off. Oh, alright, so that's just like an empty cable tray, right? Which is okay. So it's quite simple. And then this is interesting. So I've got just 4 big, very chunky, good looking buttons, man. Like, this is beaut. Interesting. So I could, because I saw someone mention that they cracked their case, I could 3D print that case quite easily. This is literally just, okay, so this is like adjusting a bike. Let me just rotate this. Okay. Alright, so we've got 4 buttons that are identical, it looks like. Which is that, should that be the case? If one's an e-stop, that e-stop there. Okay, so 23 is obviously the common, right? So that's where I'm putting in my 24 volts, I believe. There. It'd be good if I had a wiring diagram for this. So I'll try and find one. And then we've got 24 on that side. Oh. So maybe it's like 23 is 24 volts and 24 is... No, I don't get it. You would have one common, right? 24 volts, 24 volts, 24 volts, 24 volts. Yeah? and then you would have to digital input, digital input, digital input, digital input. But how do you detect what happens here? Is this a wire break? Okay, so there's the internals of the e-stop. So I press it. You can see. So the e-stop should be double pole, double throw, I believe. I don't know. I could do a wiring diagram. Let me look on the listing. Okay, so I found some website and one, you know, these guys that leave reviews, man, amazing. So some guys left a detailed review where what he said is these are really well built. Plastic is a little thin. Each switch has two sides, one normally open, one normally closed. So you can wire up many different types of circuits. Okay, so how do I know what side is normally open and what side is normally closed? How would I? What I figured out here is that, you know, you can unlock the button and take it out, which is cool. So I think maybe you could switch it around. I don't know. So put that in there like that. I got it. I figured it out. So if you have a look here, you got the red side, which is normally closed, and I'll show you in a minute. And then you got the green side here, which is normally open. So this is all the green sides, and this is the red side. So if you look here, so I've just got a normal button here, yeah? So you can see there, you can see the contacts there, coming there, along there, there. When I press it, you can see there, can you see that? You can see that, yeah. Look at that. So it's closed right now, boom, and it's open. You can see there's a gap there now. So this is the normally closed contact, which when pressed, opens. Interestingly, this button doesn't latch, so it's going to need to be used for a trigger just to send the signal. I have to keep that in mind. I hate the fact that these move or slide around. Anyways, yeah, so that's the normally closed side, and then on the normally open side, so I thought the e-stop would be wired differently, but it's not. I thought it would have two contacts, but it doesn't. So you can see in there now that it's open. Can you see? And then when I press it, it closes. You see it's latched closed, and then undo it, open, closed, open, closed, open. And I mean, to be fair, like they look like good quality buttons, man. So, oh nice, okay, nice. So that's easier. All right, so I've got the green. You can see there, boom. It's open right now, closed, open, closed. And then the other side. That's cool, man. So when they're both pressed, they both activate at the same time, yeah? Man, this is good. This is a good bit of kit. I mean, it did cost £25, which, you know, I've just noticed as well that it is actually gasketed. There's a gasket seal around there to make it waterproof. I don't know how waterproof it actually is, but man, I'm happy. This is cool. Okay, so I think I'm going to wire them. I mean, I could do whatever I want, right? So yeah, let's. How do I hook wires into this? Is it like some sort of screw clamp thing? I don't know. Okay, so that unscrews out. What do I do? Okay, so that there's like a clamp there, you can see. All right, so I've had some success. What I've done is I've just stripped a bit of wire, quite long, and I've taken out the screw, wrapped it around it, and then screwed it in, and it's in there quite well. And then that should get a good connection, I think. So I'm just going to do the same again on this side. So all right, so I've put two cables in, right? So now I should, I believe, just be able to do this. Can I get it through? Okay, so through there, that's done. Close this up. It's going to close. If I put it on right, I don't know. Okay, all right. And then let me strip these and try and run our PLC program. All right, so moment of truth. I need to clean this up a little bit. It's obviously a bit messy, sorry. But I've removed my push button now. There's no push button on that breadboard. So if I hopefully press this, this fan should go. 3, 2, 1, you're back in the room. Nice. That is a fat button, man. Look at that. Oh, that is brilliant. That is brilliant, man. Oh my days. Okay, so I need to wire up the rest of them, obviously. And then it'd be nice to like maybe, I don't know, either shrink wrap or just tie these up. I need to label the wires as well, because so I've got one yellow, one black. I suppose like one of them is going to be common to 24 volts, which is this black wire here. So I can just attach the black wire to all of them. And then if I had different color wires, which I think I actually do in my tool bag in my car. I think I do have. Alright, so it took some time, but I've now wired. So for the switch, I've wired both outputs, and then the e-stop just one, and then the two buttons just one, blue and yellow. So I should maybe mark them, but I think I'll be okay. I'm just dealing with 4 buttons, but ideally it'd be nice to mark each one of my wires. But I've used individual wires, and then they're all black. They all got the black comment along the bottom, so should be able to just connect those into the digital inputs on the PLC, and then we should be able to program it. And yeah, I mean, it's exciting, man. Alright, so I've literally spent an hour and a half rewiring this PLC, and you know, now that I've got so many more wires, it just becomes unmanageable. And I'm gonna need to get the PLC mounted and get it put on a DIN rail, so that'll be in the next video. I need to do that because this is just ridiculously crazy to deal with. But I've got all these wires now coming out of my little button box here, and I need to know what's what. I could open it up, but I figured, you know what, if I just connect one end of my multimeter to ground, the other end to, you know, one of the wires, and then just start hitting buttons. So if I just start hitting buttons, we should see one of it go to 24 volts. Nope. Nope. So it's got to be this one. There you go, yeah. It's 24 volts, 23.6. So here, this white one here is now my e-stop. So I can wire that into my next input. And then that's how I'm going to know what's what. And it'd be nice if I could have some... I mean, I could put in my code in comments just white wire e-stop. You know. But really, you want to make a wiring diagram. And I suppose it'd be beneficial for me to actually make a wiring diagram. So I might do that. Alright, I must say, this is one of the most fun things I've done in a very, very long time. I'm not even joking you right now. Like, look at the... So, look at this here. Oh my days, man. Look, it's a Thursday, 4th of August, 4 AM. I'm knackered, mate. And I got work in... I need to be at work in 4 hours. And I'm still doing this. It's brilliant. Anyway, so I've cleaned up my cable, as you can see here. So all my cable coming out of there, and then what I've done is I've terminated I've put all of the 24 volt connections to the battery into these 2 terminal blocks, and then I've just got this going into the PLC to get in 24 volt power supply, and then I've got all my grounds here on these 3 terminal blocks going into the 3 different ground things, and then also got my fan grounded as well, and then my fan digital output here. And then all my digital inputs are just coming in there, so they're all lined up. So okay, so the green one switches left, so if I switch that, you'll see output 4 turns on. If I switch right, output 3 turns on. And then if I hit the green button, then this is for this blue wire, which means input. I've been saying output. Input 3 turns on, which is dot 2 basically, right? And then hit this one. Need to be careful because I'm gonna chop my finger off. But if I hit the first input, then dot 0 turns on, and then e-stop is dot 1. I could make that into like a better order based upon the buttons, but I've just stuck it in randomly for now. I could correct that later on. So I think we are all good to go. I mean, like now, you know, we can start to do stuff with these things. So yeah, man, this is brilliant. Alright, so here's my code where I've got one button and it's turning on my fan. Now what I want is, I want to add another input here. Okay, and then I'm going to use my e-stop now to say that when this e-stop is pressed, which is, so it's %I 0.1, so that's the e-stop. When it's not pressed, then we can turn on the fan by pressing this button. But if it is pressed, then you can't. So let's upload that. Alright, so right now the e-stop is not pressed. As you can see here, it's not pressed. So therefore, if I press my button, my fan turns on. However, so if I'm holding down the button and then, you know, you get stuck in it and I hit the e-stop, it kills it dead. And as you can see there now, my fan, no matter how many times I press this button and this button's turning on and off, my fan won't run because my e-stop has been hit. If I hold down the button to run and then reset the e-stop, the fan will run again. Oof. Ooh, I love it. I love it. This is brilliant. Alright, so let's do the same. Let's consider that this switch is an enable. Let's just say it's an enable switch to say, okay, enabled, so it's set to run. I can't think of a use for, I mean, I've got this red button should be stop, not run, right? So let's change it. Let's make this green one the one to run. So we'll do this button, we need to change it. Okay, I'm going to change it to I0.2 for my green button. Okay, and I don't have a good use. Well, I don't know a good use for this red button. Okay, so now it will be green button to run. Yep, there you go. So my green button is to run, and then if I hit the E-stop, kills it. Cool. Alright, so I've just renamed these tags, so E-stop and green button. So now what I want is I want this switch here. We'll just do it to the right, which is input.3. So if I go to my tags and then I go here and I want to say run enabled. Okay, that's input.3 here. Okay, I should be able to monitor that. Okay, there. So you can see here, here's my tags, true. Right, see, true. So here, run enabled. So this will be run enabled, and then I'm gonna do run disabled, and we'll do .4. So now this is where you can start to build up some nice complicated stuff. It's not complicated at all, really, is it? So E-stop is okay, and then run enabled is on, and then also we'll do run is not disabled. Okay, so let's download that. I mean, it can't be both, to be honest with you. There's not really need to do that. I just want to just use that other this input here. All right, so run is currently not disabled. If I turn it here now, run is now disabled. If I hit this, it's not going to run, obviously. Even like I said, there's no need. This is kind of doing it twice. I don't have a use for turning it left for now. So run enabled, then I hit run. Now my fan will go. So now, right now, I need my E-stop to be okay. I need my program to be in run mode by turning this switch to the run, and then I need to hit the green button, and then it will run. Quite cool, actually. I suppose you could do two-handed operation as well by forcing the person to press two buttons at the same time. So I could do that by just saying, you know, let's go back to we'll just go red button, and then I believe it's Control Shift I to define it. We're going to define it as a global input, IO.5. Is it IO.5? My red button? Red button is 0. IO 0. Define red button. Okay, it's telling me I've got a clash. Just go to my PLC tags. I've called it button already, haven't I? That's fine. So now I need to be pressing both the green and the red button in order to run the fan, which is good if you have like a press or something that's going some dangerous machine. Let's say you got like a saw cutting thing and you have a cage. You know, if you want to make sure that the operator's hands are not in there, then you make it so he has to press two buttons at the same time that are like a meter apart or whatever. So now I'm ready to run. I'm in run mode, so run enabled. My E-stop is okay. So E-stop, run enabled, green button, not gonna run yet, red button, and there you go, the fan goes. And I could do that to select like different modes and whatnot, but I don't want to drag this video out. You know, this is pretty sick. Like, this is pretty sick. This is amazing, honestly. Like, this is cool, man. So I can use this for forward mode or reverse mode, you know. So if I'm running here now, okay, run enabled, run, and then e-stop. One thing you want, I know, which I was just talking to one of my mentor about at work today, is that if this e-stop has been hit, you want it to set a fault. So let's just quickly do that. We'll do e-stop, and then we'll do output, and we'll do fault. Fault can be a global memory, I think. No, I don't know. Is that right to do fault as global memory? Would that work? Okay, and then I wanted to do it as a set fault. And then what I can do actually is this run disabled mode, which I had, I can get rid of this. So I'm doing a bit too much. And I could use that to reset my faults actually. That's a good idea. So here now, I'll do my run disabled one. And copy this here. And make this a reset. Okay, so right now I'm setting the fault when the e-stop, is this correct? When the e-stop is hit. Okay, so e-stop, so once my, I'm right. So once my e-stop is hit, it sets a fault. So if I reset this fault, so e-stop run is enabled. So okay, 1 second. So what I want is, I want to put here to say fault, and that I have no faults. So my e-stop is okay, I don't have any faults, I'm in run enabled mode, and both buttons are pressed, then my fan should run. Okay, so run is enabled. I've currently got a fault from previously, so I should be able to reset it like that. Okay, so my fault has been reset. So I currently have no fault. Okay, this is good. So this is working. So my e-stop is good. I don't have any faults. I'm now in run enabled mode, and then I press both buttons, and there you go, my fan's running, as you can hear, right? So now if I hit the e-stop, it kills it for me, right? Then now, even if I reset the e-stop straight away, and then I'm still in run enabled mode, as you can see, I won't run because I've hit the e-stop, so there's been a fault for something. I don't want someone to just come reset the e-stop and just start working again. I want them to go back to the screen, figure out what the fault was, have a look at it, and then clear that fault. So you come back here now, you can see that you've had a fault, and then now boom, reset the fault, and then now we're good to go again, back into run enabled mode, and e-stop is okay, and then, oh my gosh, beautiful. Beautiful. If you have any questions, leave it down below. Let me know what's next. I think I would like to get this mounted on a board. I'd like to get some terminal rails. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do next, but this is probably my favorite purchase in a long time. £25. Very well spent. Now I'm gonna go to sleep. Take care, guys. Bye bye.